What are you built to be? What are you built to become? The time is now. The time is right now. You weren't built to break. You were built to be something greater. Welcome to season 2 of the BTB Project. I'm your host, Kollman Gearhart. I was the overweight kid, the one counted out, who lost 100 pounds, found purpose in the pain, and turned my setbacks into a story worth telling. This podcast isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about identity, discipline, and comebacks. Getting up one more time and becoming who we're always meant to be. If you're ready to go deep, do the work, and live out what you're built to be, you're in the right place. Let's lock in, let's rise, and let's get to work. In today's episode of the BTB Project, we are looking at season 2. It's crazy to me to think that after 176 episodes, we've gotten to this point. I'm incredibly humbled how the podcast has been received. And I thought today would be a great opportunity to pull back the curtain a little bit and go through some questions that I can answer that will give you more context behind the BTB project, where this mission is going, the why, the reason, why I'm here, why you're listening, and really tap into what's coming ahead because it's exciting times. I absolutely love firing up this microphone, turning the camera on, being able to engage with you as the listener, and I want to take it up a notch. So I hope that through this episode, we can all get excited and learn that becoming the strongest version of ourselves, becoming what we're built to be, is right at our fingertips. And I want to be able to help you accomplish those goals, accomplish those dreams. So looking back, my nickname, they used to call me Big Teddy Bear. And I was an overweight kid growing up, maxed out at 5'10", a little over 325 pounds. And I was the one that was constantly made fun of, constantly poked at. And I hid how I really felt on the inside and tried to be the funny guy because I used humor to suppress the deep, dark insecurities of how much it hurt to be called Big Teddy Bear. That nickname stuck with me for years, and it just wasn't a nickname for me. It was a label that I put on myself, something that made me self-sabotage any remotely exciting, positive thing in my life because I'd always bring myself back down to that nickname. And I know that my peers thought it was silly. My friends thought it was funny, but I was dying on the inside. And I always took that moment in my life and then fast forward to being able to lose 100 pounds and walk on and be a Division I tennis player to being over a 20-year coach, helping people become the strongest version of themselves. It all stemmed from that label that was put on me. And taking that acronym BTB and creating a business out of it, built to be tennis and fitness, is something that I'm really proud of, something that I never thought would happen in a million years that would then lead me to be in the position I'm at today, a little over 2.5 years later, having a podcast streamed in over 40 countries, the guests, the impactful content that I've been able to be fortunate enough to share with you guys. I'm super humbled. So, season 2 of the podcast is not just about leveling up. It's also about letting go. Part of this process that I've had to do in my personal life is I have to let go of the version of myself that was built out of fear. It was built out of shame. I was trying to survive in those moments. I just wanted to be accepted. I wanted to fit in. I did not want to be someone that was an outcast. And being able now to look back and know that I'm stepping into a version rooted in strength, having an identity, having a purpose. I don't want you as the listener to be stuck in your story. I want to be able to help you rewrite them the way that they were meant to be, the way that you were built to live your life. So, a few questions that I want to cover to help provide context of season 2 and a little bit more about the BTB project. First up is, why did I start the BTB project? And what's changed since season 1? I started the BTB project because I wanted to be like a coach I never had. There were so many times in my life where I had these coaches that would see the way that I looked, and based off of what I looked like, predetermined what my success or outcome was going to be, which happened to be the sport of tennis. And that nickname, Big Teddy Bear, that cute and cuddly bear of a persona, of a personality, bothered me, really stuck with me. And I promised myself that when I was done with my career, when I exhausted, when I took the wet rag and just wrung out everything I possibly could in my own personal journey as an athlete, that I would give back. And I had a little bit of a selfish head start because my older brother was able to coach high school sports, happened to be soccer, years before I started coaching. So I got to actually watch him and follow in his footsteps of seeing how meaningful it was to give back to that age demographic that I needed when I was in high school, but didn't have and had a chance to pay it forward. So through that, the coaching piece has been one thing, but the podcast has been really exciting because the guests that I've been able to interview in one way or another have their own built to be journeys. They have the ability to look at what they've done, what they've accomplished as they're becoming the strongest version of themselves. And I share these stories to help resonate with you. And the big change between season 1 and season 2 is I'm pulling back the curtain even more transparency, more hard conversations, more real conversations. I love doing the BTB shorts. I love having the interviews, but ultimately I have to continue to put in the work in my own personal life. And as I'm going through each section of my life to get to where I want to be, I think that they're valuable lessons and teachings to learn to help pay it forward. I'm far from perfect. I don't have it all together. I'm a screwed up, messed up sinner. But ultimately, I'm determined to take a lot of these facets that I'm facing in my life, face them head on, and have it be something that I document with you to help you on your own built to be journey. Second question, what does built to be mean to me now? It means everything. It's something that I literally carry with me on a daily basis. When someone says, "Hey, I just listened to my first episode of the BTB Project," I hear that more now than I ever thought I would. And I never thought in a million years that people would want to hear my voice. And maybe in some senses, they still don't want to hear my voice today. But I've learned that as I've been able to speak and use the talents and gifts that God has given me, that people have been impacted by it, that it's been something that has allowed them to reflect, to use that built to be concept into their own personal life. So that means everything to me because if I can just help one person the way that I wish I would to have been helped when I was growing up, I know that I'm doing what I need to do. Next is, when did I realize I was shedding my big teddy bear identity? This one took a while for me to grasp because I felt like the big teddy bear has been something that's fueled me not only into who I am today, but I held on to it. I kind of looked at the underdog mentality, the go against the grain, the impossible is nothing, that's really what my identity was. So to be completely honest, I don't know if I've totally shed the big teddy bear. It was something that I would tap into that allowed me to go above and beyond what I thought I was capable of physically, especially as an athlete. I just always carried that alter ego. I felt like no one could touch the training, the discipline, the trials and tribulations that I overcame. I felt like it made me unstoppable. So I don't know if I've totally shed it. I think I've taken a negative connotation in my life and made it into a positive, but it's something that still fuels the fire today. What's been the biggest challenge in becoming the strongest version of myself? The biggest challenge is getting honest. I grew up in a broken home. I am a child of an alcoholic. I was sexually molested when I was 10 by my two cousins. I overcame a life threatening back surgery, taking a tumor out of my spinal canal that led to paralysis in my pelvis, and I couldn't walk for months after the surgery. I'm a husband and a father. I've had monumentally awesome moments in my marriage and as a father, and I've had really poor moments as a husband and a father. And I think the biggest challenge in becoming the strongest version of yourself is, especially as a male, we have this misconception that strength is these feats and these accomplishments, where what I've really grasped over the last few years is our true strength is in our vulnerability, our ability to be honest with ourselves and let truth guide us to who we are built to become. I don't want to live a life of illusion or have a mask on. I don't want to live a life of deception, lies, being in a position where I feel like I'm always together and everything is peachy keen. That's not the case. I have struggles every day. And in season 2 of this podcast, I'm just excited to let more of that come to the surface because if I've heard any feedback from the podcast so far, it's life is tough. Recording this in 2025, I'm about to embark on my 41st birthday. And I know I have a lot of years ahead, and Lord willing, my health and my ability to stay active keeps intact. Becoming the strongest version of myself is going to constantly be an ever evolving thing. And I'm just excited that through this transparency of sharing it and documenting it with you through a podcast and bringing on guests that are doing the very same thing, it will ultimately allow you to do things that you never thought you could do and to become the strongest version of yourself. What am I still working through and how am I handling it differently today? The biggest thing that I'm working through today still is, am I good enough? I challenge that narrative on a daily basis because I tap into my self sabotage. I think of the kid that was trying to save his mom from addiction, taking her to 4 rehabs and watching her relapse each time. At that point, I was 16, 17, 18 years old, and there's no kid at that age that should ever have to experience that type of letdown over and over, or watching my dad and my brother leave the house and do what was best for them. But ultimately, I stayed back and tried everything I could to help my mom. So I think I'm still working on the am I good enough piece because I feel like my mom thought I wasn't good enough. Otherwise, she would have gotten sober. My dad thought I wasn't good enough. Otherwise, he would have protected me more in those moments to help with my mom. My brother, I love him to death, but maybe he feels like I'm not good enough because he had to leave that house just for his own sanity. And some parts of that, I don't blame him. But the am I good enough piece, that has trickled into my marriage. It's trickled into my ability to be a dad. And I feel like that is the curse of the man, is being able to have confidence in something that's greater than ourselves. That's the only way that I see it happening. If you do it any other way, we physically are not capable mentally and within our bodies to endure this life. This life has seasons, very difficult seasons. And it's our ability to lean not on our understanding, but by the grace of God, that type of strength within us is where we truly have the opportunity to do impossible things, to do things that people never thought that they could imagine, because we're simply releasing all of the things of what we think we know and relinquishing that to a God that knows us better than we know ourselves. So I'm working on that still every day. What do I want this season to unlock for listeners? I want this season to truly be the game changing moment. I want it to be a moment where either a BTB short or an interview resonates with you as a listener to the point to where you want to take action. Again, by default, I'm a coach. The first person that I coach is myself. I absolutely hate when coaches tell me what to do and they're not doing it themselves. And it's through applicable action that I'm taking that I hope will inspire and encourage you to take that first step as well. It might be with a relationship that you have, it might be with your finances, it might be with your fitness, your career, what you're doing with school. There's so many different facets of life that require action. And sometimes the fear, the self doubt, the insecurities end up holding us back from taking true, sincere action. So being able to look at ourselves in the mirror, identify what we are built to be, and taking action is what I really want to unlock for listeners in this season. What can listeners expect from guests and stories coming up? More relatable content is my goal. Talking to people that are normal, everyday individuals just like you and me. Maybe there's some that have had an immense amount of success in life and business and taking on more of that mentorship role. being able to listen to their stories, being able to have some of the content be something that we talk about more as a community, coming together, doing special breakout sessions, offering my time to field questions to you as the listener to talk through some of these topics, because I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not the one that has everything figured out, but I am learning every single day. I'm rewiring and processing my ability to become the strongest version of myself. And you, as the listener, can expect the same. The guests that I have on are truly so inspirational, so amazing with these touching stories, and you're going to resonate with them. That's my goal. Lastly, how can you, the listener, take a first step today? The hardest thing in the world, in my opinion, when you're beat down, broken, in the dumps, thinking you're not good enough, is to get to that initial level set of looking at yourself in the mirror and saying in the mirror, I am good enough. I am strong enough. I am going to be able to accomplish what I am built to be. Not because it's going to be easy, not because I'm just trying to be accepted. I'm doing it for me. And being able to take that step of affirming to yourself in the mirror every single day is always the first step that I want you to take on your built to be journey. Listen, season 2 is going to be awesome. Buckle up. I'm excited. And if this hit you today, I want to hear from you. Shoot me a DM. Share the episode to friends and family. Tag someone who's ready to shed their past, shed their big teddy bear, and build a new future of what they're built to be. Because of this season, I understand that this isn't going to be about perfection. It's about becoming the strongest version of ourselves. One choice, one moment, one belief at a time. As always, I'm proud of each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.